If you're selling a home in Halifax, then there's a lot of things that you should be considering. And one of those things that is very important is the how. How are you going to sell your home in Halifax? Now, there's basically three different ways that you can go about this, kind of three different paths that you can go down. So the first one would be kind of the traditional path of listing with a realtor. And yes, this is my primary business. Obviously, that's why I run this channel, but I'm not here today to try to push you to that direction by any means. I'm just here to give you these kind of three options of the three main ways you can sell your home. And then it's up to you to decide which one of these options is best for you. And truthfully, there's a right fit out there for everybody, depending on your situation, your experience level, and what you're looking to accomplish. Now, the second option is a private sale. In this one, you would have no representation, just doing it on your own. And the third one is sort of a hybrid method, which I'll get into in a little bit. But just before I get into it, if you're new here, my name is Andrew Stevens, and I've been selling real estate in Halifax for 10 years now. Yes, it's hard to believe. I know I don't look that old, but 10 full years in the industry in Halifax real estate. And if you're new here and you want to be educated on the Halifax real estate market, then you're in the right place. So hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And if you're thinking about making a move in Halifax and you want to chat about that, you can reach out to me. You can book a call or a seller consultation or a buyer consultation with me anytime in the Calendly link below in my description at a time when it's convenient for you. So again, there's three main ways that you can do this. And the first one I'm going to talk about is sort of the most traditional way, I would say. And that one is listing with a realtor and going to the MLS with your listing. So the pros to this would be, this is giving you the most exposure. This is exposing you to the most buyers. A lot of buyers, if not most buyers, I would say, are working with a realtor or they're looking on the MLS for property. So you want to be on MLS, generally speaking, to get the most exposure for your listing. Again, depending on what your goals are. So the pros of this are full exposure. It's going to be the easiest for you because if you're working with a realtor, you're going to be fully represented and they're going to take care of most of the things that you need to do. And the con to this option obviously would be the price. So this is going to be the most expensive, generally speaking, of these three options I'm going to give you today. And truthfully, you get what you pay for. There's no standard commission. There's all kinds of different commission structures out there, but generally speaking, if you're hiring a realtor to list your home on the MLS, depending on what commission rate they're going to go with, they're going to do more for you. So you might pay a little bit more money, but you might get a full marketing package with that. So staging, photos, video, everything's included. The marketing, they negotiate for you, all that. So if you go with this option, make sure you know what you're getting based on what you're paying that agent. That would be kind of my advice to you. Now, the second option that I'm going to talk about, and I mentioned this one in the intro as well, is a private sale. So this would be you doing it yourself. You're going to need a lawyer to close the deal for you, but generally speaking, you can, yes, sell your home yourself. Now, there's a lot of things to factor in here. Now, a pro would be that generally speaking, this is likely going to be the cheapest option out of the three that I'm giving you today. Now, the con would be, well, you're not getting that same full exposure in terms of going to the MLS, so you might not be reaching all the buyers based on the marketing. You have to do everything yourself. All the expenses would be on you. And then on top of that, you have no representation. So you're dealing with people who might be a lot more experienced with you in the industry, and you don't have a lot of guidance within this private sale model. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to work for you, depending on who you are and what the situation is. It might work very, very well for you. But generally speaking, out of these three options today, this one is probably coming with the most risk associated to you because you're doing everything yourself. So you want to make sure you have a good lawyer to represent you on the back end. And oftentimes, even if you're a private sale and you're putting it out there on maybe Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace, or maybe you've made a website for your listing or whatever you're doing to get this out to the masses, you're likely to have buyer's agents approaching you looking for a buyer's agent fee to bring their buyer to your property if they see it online. So even if it's a private sale, you could still have a realtor on the buyer end bring a buyer who you pay the buyer fee, or maybe their own buyer covers it. But I would say that's a lot more rare as a general statement. So they could be coming to look for this fee. So even if you're a private sale, you might end up paying a buyer's agent fee anyway if you're willing to do that. And if you're not willing to do that, that's okay. But just know you're probably dwindling down your buyer pool on your property quite a bit. Now, the third option that I'm going to talk about today, and this was sort of the hybrid model that I mentioned in the intro, is called a mere posting. So, this one specifically, you're still selling privately. You have no representation from an agent, you're doing it yourself. But there are companies out there that you can pay a fee for to get on the MLS. So, you're getting the MLS exposure, but you're still doing everything yourself. You're not represented. So, there's still a lot more risk associated with that option. And you need to make sure you have a good lawyer representing you on the back end. So the pros are, well, MLS exposure. So again, you're putting it out to the masses so people can find your listing on, Viewpoint, Realtor.ca, Zillow, or whatever search criteria that they're using. And all the buyer's agents are going to be seeing this too. In most cases, a mere posting is put online and it shows that they're offering a commission to a buyer's agent as well. So, generally speaking, in this model, you're probably going to be paying about half of what you would if you listed with an agent. And again, I'm not saying that necessarily is the case, but oftentimes it will be. So, in most cases, you're still going to pay a buyer's agent fee because if you're putting your property to the MLS, you're likely to get all kinds of buyer's agents showing your property. But again, you're on your own in this scenario, representing yourself and then dealing with a buyer's agent on the other side. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing and you have some good advice from a lawyer if you don't know what you're doing. And truthfully, if you're very inexperienced, you've never sold a home before, I would suggest that options 2 and 3 are likely not the right path for you to take, again, depending on the overall circumstances. Now, one thing I will say, regardless of what option you go with, there is a lot that goes into the process of selling a home and to be successful in selling your home. So you need to make sure whatever professionals you're hiring, whether that's just a lawyer or a realtor or whoever else you might be hiring, you need to make sure that you're hiring good professionals that are giving you good advice that can help you through this process. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot that goes into your success. And we are now in a kind of weird market in Halifax. Not every home is selling overnight, and not every home is going to sell for top dollar. So the way you list your home matters. The way you present your property to the masses online matters. The more exposure you can get matters. And the pricing that you go with and the strategy that you go with in terms of fielding offers really matters and it really contributes to your success at the end of the day. So just keep all that in mind. And if you're curious about what your property is worth or what kind of strategy is the best one for you, you can book a seller consultation with me anytime. There's no obligation there to sign up or anything like that. You can book it anytime in the Calendly link below in my description at a time when it's convenient for you. And if you're still here watching and you got any value out of this video, all I ask is that you hit that like button and you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future content. And that'll help push this out to more people like you who may be interested in seeing content about the Halifax and Nova Scotia real estate market. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support and have a great day.